I know I'm not the only one, but the inside linebackers from years gone by are a lot more intimidating than the ones in today's game. How do you guys think guys like Chuck Bednarik, Ray Nitschke, and Dick Butkus would react playing in today's NFL with all these new rules and all these divas? They wouldn't survive. They thrived on intimidation. All right, so what do I look for in an inside linebacker? There's instincts, tackling, and leadership. Instincts, it's about recognition, reading the keys, diagnosing the play, get going before the snap of the football, seeing the whole field, making the calls and adjustments, recognizing the personnel. Tackling, to secure a tackle, you must hit coming up and keep the shoulders square, having agility, balance, wrapping up, and running through the ball carrier, taking the proper angle and getting downhill quickly. Leadership, the inside linebackers, they're the quarterbacks of the defense. They raise the intensity and set the tempo of that 11-man crew, rallying them up, encouraging them in third down situations. Luke Kuechly is my top inside linebacker in the game today, and to me, it's not really that close. He and Bobby Wagner have always been paired together because Kuechly was the 9th pick in the 2012 draft, while Wagner fell to the second round that year. I've never had Wagner ahead of him, but it's always been a neck-and-neck race. So if you're a guy that put Wagner ahead of him in years past, I'm not going to argue with you, but I think Kuechly took such a huge leap forward last season that he's the clear-cut number one now. He's the best inside linebacker against both the run and pass. He tallied 153 tackles, which led the league among inside linebackers to go with 3 sacks and 12 passes defensed. He's the best in the league at speeding and knifing through traffic to bring down running backs. Nobody can match his instincts and awareness. He's just so damn smart out there. In pass coverage, his footwork is incredible. He can turn and run with not only tight ends, but slot receivers as well. Very fluid in his zone dropbacks. As a pass rusher, Kuechly has the speed and timing to shoot the A-gap well, but he's asked to be more in coverage than attack the quarterback. The aforementioned Wagner is number 2. He's undersized at 6 feet, 240 pounds, but makes up for it with speed, instincts, and intensity. And although he's on the NFC champion Seahawks, he still tends to be underrated among the rest of that elite defense. When Wagner went down with a turf toe injury in Week 6, Seattle went just 3-3 during his absence, but finished the year on a 6-game winning streak following his return. Seattle took notice, giving him a 4-year, $43 million extension a week or two ago. His instinct, speed, and great leverage makes him a stud against the run. He notched 74 tackles and just 7 misses. In coverage, he's equally adept. He gets great depth, will knock his receivers off their routes if they cross the middle, and tackles well in space. Like Kuechly, though, Wagner is counted more in coverage than a blitzer. NaVorro Bowman is number 3. The retirements of Chris Borland and Patrick Willis during the offseason were devastating, but if Bowman can copy his unbelievable 2013 campaign after missing all of last season with a torn ACL, it should soften the blow. He suffered that ACL tear in a gruesome fashion during the 2013 NFC title game against the Seahawks. Prior to the injury, he was as athletic and as an instinctive linebacker as there is. He's a great inside blitzer, great at chasing down running back sideline to sideline. He might be the most ferocious hitting linebacker in the league. He's very smooth in coverage, quick in space. He can turn and run, change direction to cut off underneath routes. So, yeah, we'll see what Bowman brings to the table this season, but I think he's still an upper echelon guy. I've got another guy who basically missed all of 2014 with an injury at number 4, and his name is Derrick Johnson, who tore his Achilles during Week 1. He had missed just 1 game in 4 prior seasons leading up to 2014, and had made 3 straight Pro Bowls from 2011 to 2013. At 6'3", 240, Johnson has the perfect frame for the position and is another one of those rare 3-down linebackers. He can stop the run, rush the passer, drop back in coverage, uses his fantastic speed and instincts in the run game, and he uses his ability to scoot to make plays along the perimeter. He times his blitzes extremely well, flushes the quarterback, creates opportunities for the outside rushers. His read and react skills in zone coverage are top-notch. He has smooth hips, great closing speed. Coming off a phenomenal rookie season, C.J. Mosley is number 5, with he and Daryl Smith manning the middle. Not having Ray Lewis hasn't been so bad in Baltimore. His run defense is his best asset, and his tackling may already be the best out of all the inside linebackers. Plays with great anticipation, has a high football IQ. He stacks up blockers, sheds them, and finds the ball. Always takes the proper angle to the ball carrier. Mosley's pass coverage was solid for a rookie. Again, it's about his instincts and football IQ. He really trusts his eyes. Make it 3 inside linebackers in the top 6 that basically missed all of last season. Kiko Alonso is number 6. Obviously, he made a lot of headlines this offseason because the Eagles received him in a swap for LaShawn McCoy. The move freed up salary cap space so the Birds could add high-priced free agents such as Byron Maxwell and DeMarco Murray. Alonso is making $10 million less than McCoy this season. His coverage skills are his best attribute. He's fluid and instinctive, also has good enough hands to intercept passes. He's so athletic that he can play both man and zone coverage. Against the run, let's just say that Alonso's a very, very violent hitter, but sometimes that can lead to him bouncing off the ball carrier. At 6'3", 238, Alonso is a bit undersized for an inside backer, but his speed allows him to make plays outside the tackles, and he's also very good at taking the proper angles. As a pass rusher, Alonso can flush the pocket, but in the snaps I've seen him play in Buffalo, he doesn't get home on the quarterback as much as you would, like to. Lawrence Timmons is number 7. He's simply a tackling machine, posting his 4th straight 100-plus tackle campaign a year ago, and finally reaching his first and much-deserved Pro Bowl. At 6'1", 234, Timmons is undersized for a 3-4 inside linebacker, but plays with great quickness, really lays the lumber. He's very athletic. He's a top-notch run defender. He anticipates, gets in position, and closes quickly. As great as Timmons is as a run defender, his ability in coverage does need improvement. He gets targeted a lot, struggles in space when it comes to pass coverage. As a pass rusher, he's not asked to do much of it, but has shown in the past that he's capable. Karlos Dansby is number 8, and at 33, he's shown no signs of slowing down. He's at his best in coverage. He's athletic, has a high football IQ, diagnoses plays really quickly, changes direction on a dime, closes fast, equally adept in zone or man coverage. He also uses that athleticism and instincts in run defense. He takes the proper angles and plays the outside runs very, very well. Brian Cushing checks in at number 9. The energetic Cushing is a fantastic run defender. He diagnoses quickly, navigates through traffic, explodes through ball carriers. He plays very fast, very aggressive, very strong, and the addition of Vince Wilfork at nose tackle is only going to help him more this season. In pass coverage, he uses his speed and awareness. He breaks on the ball quickly, makes tackles in space. As a pass rusher, he does a solid job of beating the A-gap using his speed and strength. Stephen Tulloch rounds out my top 10, returns from a ACL tear after injuring it, celebrating a sack. I believe he was trying to do the discount double check Aaron Rodgers style, and, well, clearly he couldn't replicate it. He's a tremendous athlete and is one of the game's most instinctive coverage linebackers. He can match up one-on-one against both tight ends and running backs. He's known as being a big hitter in run defense. He sorts through traffic and lays the boom on ball carriers. Rolando McClain is 11th. Jerod Mayo is 12th. Daryl Smith is 13th. Mychal Kendricks is 14th. Daryl Washington is 15th. David Harris is 16th. Brandon Marshall is 17th. Preston Brown is 18th. Brandon Spikes is 19th. And DeMario Davis is 20th. McClain's rise in Dallas was the biggest story of any player a year ago. Actually, the biggest surprise of any player a year ago. Sean Lee goes down before the season last year, and in steps McClain, who was twice retired by the age of 24. He was the heart and soul of Dallas' surprising defense and finally lived up to being the 8th overall pick by the Oakland Raiders. He was stuffing the run and hanging with tight ends and running backs in coverage, which was a shocker to me because he'd always been so bad as a cover guy. Mayo has played in just 12 games the last 2 years because of injuries, but when he's in, he has a great knack of finding the ball carrier. There's still no news about the status of Daryl Washington at number 15, who was suspended the entire 2014 season after violating the league's substance abuse policy. When he's playing, he's very quick, at his best, sifting through traffic, making tackles. But yeah, no word on his return. Marshall and Brown are the two most unheralded names in my top 20. Marshall was a practice squad guy who wouldn't stop making plays. So John Fox in Denver decided to give him a shot, and now he's making plays on Sundays. He filled in for Danny Trevathan, led the Broncos in tackles. He's rangy, physical, solid tackler, and improved as the year went on in coverage. Brown got his opportunity last year as a third-round rookie following the injury to Kiko Alonso. Played really, really well. He led Buffalo in tackles and made 6 of them beyond the line of scrimmage. Davis is another underrated name. He's better as a downhill thumper than in coverage. All right, so some other under-the-radar names that I like. There's Koa Misi at 22, Avery Williamson at 23, Keenan Robinson at 25, Danny Lansana at 35, Jason Trusnick at 39, and Josh Mwaga at 61. So that's it for this video. These are the Inside Backers, the monsters of the Midway. Hope you liked it. Make sure you comment below if you got any problems with it, any gripes. Let me know in the comment section. What's your top 5? What's your top 10? Let me know. So that's it for this one again. Follow us on Twitter at TheBitterBirds. I'm out of here. Later.